Hey guys, Steve here at SAMTB. It's your first time with me. Thank you so much for joining today. I appreciate you guys checking things out here. Hey, so if you saw the title, you know, the best mountain bike tires or the worst, depending on your point of view here, I just kind of want to touch on a couple things. I've just made this huge mistake, and I hope you guys don't have to make the same thing I made. But I'm just going to kind of start off with this and kind of point out my bike is the Ripmo AF. It came with the Assegai 29 2.5 WT tires. I actually have it right here to show you guys. There's a lot of designations on the side of this tire that mean things that relate to the casing, its durability, its construction, and overall weight and width. The WT in particular, right there, means that this tire is designed to sit on a wider wheel or rim, depending on whatever you want to call it. But so mine are the S35s from Ibis, 35 millimeter interior dimension, so that the inside of this tire, where it hooks in and the bead grabs, is wider, and that makes this profile sit flatter and wider. And that's the way it's made. It's made to sit that way. So you can put a not a WT tire on a wide rim, but it's not made the same way, and it won't give you the same overall width. Now this is the Assegai, as I mentioned, and this tire is actually designed by a downhill biker, South African dude. I can't remember his name at this point. It doesn't matter. But I mean, I'm sure it matters to him. It doesn't matter to me. But this tire is made for going downhill fast, and it's super soft. It's got a multiple compound design, meaning that it's harder underneath and it's softer on top. The nubs and the edges of this, you can kind of see on the edges, sit out more, and these interior ones have wider spacings between them. And this is a phenomenal tire. It's the tire that came on the bike. And that's why I'm bringing this whole thing up. Is a lot of times we get a tire on our bike, that's just what we ride, you know, unless we know better, or maybe we don't, or maybe we want to try something better, which is what I ran into. I was down in Florida recently, and I rode the Santa Cruz 5010, and I couldn't get over the fact that the rear tires, and both the front and rear tires, actually seem like so much lower profile than this one. And I'd actually have to look back on my video to look at the exact name of which tires they were. But in comparison to the Assegais, or say a Maxxis DHF or DHR or Shorty or anything like that, the tire seems so much lower, much lower profile, much tighter pattern. The tires ran much faster, and this is where the classic sort of like bungle of my decision to change my tires came from. So I'm in Florida, I'm on a faster, harder, much drier, you know, earth. It's been raining here for like a month. It just won't stop raining. Please stop raining. If anybody, you know, if you're a prayer, pray for no more rain for a little while, okay? Just for a little while, just give us a break. Central North Carolina, we're flooding here. So anyway, so this is where this kind of compounds now. So I'm on the super soft, gnarly tire, which is awesome though. It grips, I hold great, but it gets slower and slower and slower as the ground gets softer and softer and wetter and muddier. So I thought, you know what I need? I just need a faster rolling tire. I took it a little bit too far though, I think. So you can kind of see here, I'm going to show you guys kind of. So I'd gotten an aggressor a while back, and I had switched out the aggressor for the rear Assegai. I put that on the rear end of the bike first, and it ran pretty good. And then I thought, well, if it runs a little bit better with this, what if I put the aggressor on the front and I put a Recon on the back? I mean, now on theory, this is sounding good. Like, this sounds great, like a great idea, right? This could be a faster rolling tire. I looked at the profile, it didn't look that much different, but it really did. So anyway, long story. I got some footage clips here. I'm gonna show you guys. This is what it looked like. I was out the other day riding on this like sloppy mess, and it was completely useless, this tire. Like totally, completely useless. I mean, I couldn't climb up anything. Like literally, I spent half my time slipping off my bike, and now I'm on this mucky, mushy, muddy clay slime. So not only is it my tires are spinning, but I try and get off the bike and I'm sliding down the hill with the bike. It's just a mess. So so just throwing this out there. I'm thinking about putting a DHF on the front, a DHR on the rear. That's all. My intention here really is to get all the traction and amazingness out of this tire, the Assegai, this sucker right here. Where'd it go? There it is. This. But in just a little bit faster rolling tire. Just a little bit. Now, obviously, I know I'm talking only about Maxxis here, so that's cool. I mean, if you've got some other, I know Vittoria has some amazing tires. The Mazda, Maze, I don't remember. I don't know the names of all the tires. I know Victus has some great tires. I know there's a lot of other great tires out there, and I'm not opposed to trying them. But it's got to be something that's going to hold up sort of in like my terrain out here. So Pisgah, and then a little flatter, think flatter Pisgah, basically, central North Carolina here. We still got mud with similar kind of loamy-ishness though. So anyway, but I need to know, what do you guys think? Is it gonna work or not? I'm gonna show you kind of we got an aggressor here. This is what the aggressor looks like. Here's our Recon. It's 29.2.5, it's also a WT. It's got the EXO casing, not the EXO Plus, and it's tubeless ready and everything like that. And it probably, I'll tell you what, on cross country, like a harder, drier stuff, I bet this is an awesome tire. I bet it's really good for cross country, hard, less sloppy stuff, drier. This tire probably just is awesome. But for this terrain, what I ride most of the time, no, this is not. It's just not designed for it. It was not a bad tire. It's a bad choice of a tire for my terrain in the conditions that I'm running in right now. And you can see, like, look at like how, I mean, these are nice and tight. They're short. They're very short stubs. And the compound I can feel is like probably twice as hard as the Assegai, definitely. So, yeah. So there you go. Just trying to throw that out. So I'm looking for tire suggestions. Really, I made this whole video to tell you that if you're in wet, sloppy, soft conditions, don't run something like the Recon. Like, look for something maybe more like the DHF, DHRs. You know, the Aggressor actually is a great tire. We happen to be just in a very, very wet, very sloppy, slushy, slimy stuff. And, you know, most all of your like sanctioned trails, they're all closed anyway, for the most part. So I'm riding on private trails, private land here. So there you go, guys. That's what I'm riding right now. I'm about to change these tires back to the Assegais. Like right now, as soon as I get done with this video, I'm changing the tires back. It was an experiment. I tried it. I regretted it. It was a miserable. I mean, well, it wasn't miserable. It was a less fun ride than it definitely should have been and could have been. And I'm glad I didn't change it the week before when I was riding up the res, where that would have been totally disastrous. But anyway, so I'm looking, just kind of give me an idea of like what are you guys riding. Now I'm on a 29-inch obviously wheel. I'm riding a trail / enduro, the Ripmo. So give me something comparable. Don't give me crazy unrelated suggestions. It just doesn't make sense. But and remember, like, you know, we got 4 classes of tires. If you're new and you're watching this because you're interested in learning more about tires, so you got 4 classes basically, and they go from the lightest to the heaviest. Would be your cross country is the first, and actually that Recon is probably right in there with the cross country version. You have trail. Trail's a little bit heavier, you know. Then now there's something like a trail / all trail, meaning it's meant for a lot of different things, but it's a little heavier. It's definitely heavier than cross country. and you've got enduro. And now, I mean, technically, now this Assegai as it's set up, it's sort of like enduro-ish. It's definitely enduro. It's an enduro trail, but I mean, it could also be used for downhill. It's got the EXO casing. This is a heavy tire, very heavy tire. So you could definitely use this. And then after enduro, you have downhill, and that's the heaviest. Has the heaviest casing, the most layers. It's usually the softest casing, and so those are your 4 categories. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Hit me up in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, ding that little bell, tell your friends all about this channel. Appreciate it. You guys have a great week. I'll see you out on the trail. Bye.